Hello ladies and gentlemen, Master of None here. I'm back on my Revenant in Guild Wars 2. Since the last return to GW2 video, I've been very busy, in-game but also on YouTube. Remember me saying this? I'm honestly still taking it slow, working on map completion and the personal story. Well, that didn't work out very well. As you may have seen in the footage, I already finished world completion on that brand new Revenant before I was done writing the script. I've been having so much fun with the game and making content for it on YouTube. It was great to go through the old Living World stuff again binge watching style, since when the episodes were originally released, there was always a long break between episodes and even longer breaks before the expansions. I won't show a lot of footage of the Living World in case you haven't played through them yet, but there was some pretty cool stuff in there. Especially some boss fights that had some interesting mechanics, and the general set pieces of the story levels were quite enjoyable. Less nice was that I encountered not an insignificant amount of bugs in my playthrough. Multiple boss fights in the old episodes bugged out for me and I had to die to be able to continue. Also, through the whole playthrough I had this issue where some voice lines would just stay silent. It's been a bit immersion breaking and I'm not sure if it has anything to do with the DX12 client that I'm using or if this is a common bug. Those few issues aside, I absolutely love how much better the story gets over time. The core story with its presentation and pacing was rather bad, just as I remembered it. Season 2 has some interesting flashbacks and lore moments, and after that it just gets better and better. I would never describe the GW2 story as incredible. I would, however, say it's a really enjoyable experience. A lot of dialogue also has me smirking or laughing, which I think is a great thing. Currently I'm in the middle of the Path of Fire story and I'm having such a good time. Path of Fire is also just a love letter to Guild Wars 1 players, with returning characters, music from Elona and little Easter eggs, which I very much appreciate. It's funny, since I have such a strong feeling of nostalgia thinking about Guild Wars 1, but just as much when thinking about Guild Wars 2. It's kinda crazy to think that this game has already been out for almost 10 years now. This makes me feel old, and it's high time that I finally started putting out some videos, since it was something I was already thinking about when the game launched. Honestly, I've been having a blast responding to people's comments, since I didn't really expect there to be any in the first place. Not everything was successful, but again, I wasn't expecting it to be. You guys won't believe how happy I was when the first video managed to get 50 views and the first comments started to trickle in. The combination of playing the game and staying on top of things to make videos for the channel just led to me spending more time in the game. There's one feature, however, that has grabbed all my attention since coming back. I think I'll also use it as the title for this episode. What am I thinking about? It's the equipment templates and, to a lesser extent, the build templates. These have been making my playthrough so much more fun and varied. See, when starting out this character I refused to transfer any armor from my existing characters, since I wanted that feeling of getting gear drops again. Going through the story you get rewarded with the occasional rare or exotic gear. Same goes for opening all the bags that you get while playing. Usually the stats are all over the place and you end up wearing this terrible mix of inefficient stats. What build templates allowed me to do though, was assigning new gear drops to either my Condi or power loadout. Building out these two kits has been so much fun and it made me care about the story rewards quite a bit actually. It also led to a much more varied playstyle, since I was switching between Condi Renegade and Power Herald throughout my playtime, depending on what new shiny drop I got. I can highly recommend this approach to people that want to experience leveling in a fresh way. I think build and gear templates are such an amazing addition to Guild Wars 2. I saw on the wiki that they've been out for close to 2 years now. Additionally, the legendary armory that just recently released, which makes it so that all your legendaries integrate into the equipment templates, allowing you to use them on all characters simultaneously, makes this feature feel even more complete, allowing for total freedom in buildcraft and flexibility if you just grind hard enough. The ultimate convenience level. I do still have some gripes with this feature though. First of all, I would love to be able to link specific equipment loadouts to specific build templates, so I wouldn't have to switch both around constantly. Just being able to change this default behavior would be awesome and a big quality of life improvement. I think the system is already somehow in the game, since when you load in PvP or World v World, it remembers what combination you had last equipped there. Second, the system is overly monetized. The triple monetization disgusts me a little and makes the Guild Wars 1 player in me cry. Build and equipment tabs are all sold separately. Even the account build storage is limited and also monetized separately. On top of that, everything is character bound as well. Like, at least make them account bound and give me more slots to play with. I wouldn't even mind a higher price on them if that was the case. Character bound things always feel so bad and out of place in Guild Wars 2, since basically everything else is already account bound. And my last point. How is it that the game that is often dubbed Fashion Wars 2 doesn't have any way of saving or loading wardrobe sets? I would love to start making whole collections of armor sets for all 3 armor types and being able to share them with other people. Seriously, this has to be a thing. Those were the main points I wanted to talk about in this video. So what comes next for me and my Revenant? Like I mentioned earlier, I'm about midway through the Path of Fire story, which I plan on finishing sooner rather than later. Also, tomorrow starts the beta for the 3 new elite specs, which I'll definitely be checking out. I also made a video summarizing all 3 of them with my first impressions on it. I quite enjoy making these story-driven, almost diary-style videos, but I'm not sure yet if anyone else actually does. I think the last one did pretty well considering it was the first video on the channel, so I wanted to create this update for it. Depending on the reception of this one, I'll decide if I should keep making these or if I should focus on other content instead. Also, feel free to let me know in the comments if you do or don't enjoy these. At this point, I would like to remind you that you have the unique opportunity to be one of the very first 50 subscribers on this channel. But more importantly, I hope to see you in the next one.